All right. Well, I'm not going to lie. That one stung. Tango, always the first one in the chat. Welcome. What's going on, family? Well, I was expecting this one to be more of a celebratory live stream, instant reaction kind of thing. Jacory Barney, who is a top 247 wide receiver, who position of need. We all but locked up Chance Robinson pretty much, and who's an elite player. And then adding Jacory Barney to that would have been nice. Now you got two with a couple spots left. You're already putting together a nice wide receiver haul. It was looking good. As of this morning, he looked very much to be a Miami lean. All the crystal ball predictions came in online saying he was leaning Miami. And all of a sudden at 2 p.m. today, Matt or Mark Schaefer, I'm blanking on his name right now. I think that's his name, Mark Schaefer of Husker 247, gave his crystal ball prediction for Nebraska. It was actually around 2:07 p.m. today. I don't think anyone thought much of it, but sure enough, we all got swerved. We thought he was going with Miami. He went with Nebraska. First and foremost, look, congrats to the kid. I hope he goes on to great things. Hope he makes a lot of money, takes care of his family, all that stuff. He's from Miami. So, I always support, whether they go to UM or not, I always support players that come out of South Florida. And kid's a dog. Kid is an absolute playmaker, so I think he's going to do great things at Nebraska with Matt Rule. Assuming, that's where he ends up signing. Of course, nothing's set in stone until they sign on the dotted line. So keep an eye out for that. But as of right now, he's solidly committed to Nebraska. So let me know. We got some people in the chat already. Please let me know how you're feeling. If you want to air some grievances, go ahead. If you think like I do, that actually, before I tell you how I feel about it, go ahead and tell me in the comments. How are you feeling? What's your reaction to it? And in the meantime, please hit the like button on your way in. But let's see. 2 months from now, we will be playing our first game. Seems so far away. 2 months is going to fly by, my friend. The season is right around the corner. It's July 1st. And yeah, it's once the calendar hits July, yeah, football feels very, very close. It's insane how quickly it goes by, especially in the summer. But so I'll tell you how I feel about it. This was the first time, I think, in the last year and a half that this coaching staff, Mario Cristobal and this staff, is targeting a certain prospect. And we get to the point that we're one of the finalists and all the crystal ball predictions are saying Miami, Miami, Miami. And he doesn't pick Miami. I think that's the first time it happens in Mario Cristobal's tenure. So I think some people are a little shocked by that. I was definitely surprised. Happy for the kid and everything, but I was surprised. I was like, man, we really got outbid by Nebraska. But you know what? You gotta keep things in perspective. You gotta remember this young man was a heavy Nebraska lean before we jumped into his radar just a few weeks ago. We kind of made a very, very late push for Jacory Barney in our backyard. So it looked like we had the inside track there, but something happened late. I'm not sure. I don't know what happened. I'm not implying anything. I think something changed late in the game for him. He ends up going with Nebraska with his original choice. And yeah, it leaves a spot open for another talented wide receiver that I'm sure we're going after. Now, there are wide receivers to go get. Of course, the big ones, the two big targets being JoJo Trader, Ryan Wingo. There's a lot of other good ones. Obviously, Miami would love to flip a guy like a Lawayne McCoy or, there's prospects that committed to other schools that I'm sure we're talking to. So, not the end of the world. At least I don't think so. We're going to miss some guys. The thing is, we haven't had a legit miss, just a complete swing and a miss. That we could have got a guy and we dropped the ball until today. I know Ricky Knight III picked FSU today, but we all kind of expected that. We all kind of saw that one coming. All the predictions leaned FSU. Even though it was a close battle for a while there, he did like Miami a lot, but the talented defensive back ended up going with FSU. Hey, best of luck to him. We'll be seeing him on the field every year for the next 3-4 years, so that should be fun. But some better news to talk about. Romanus Frederick, if I pronounced that right, I hope I did. He committed to Miami yesterday. Really like the kid. Another under the radar 3-star kid. I like his tape. Is this one of the ones that I'm saying, oh, this kid absolutely should be a blue chipper? They gave him 1 star too little. No, Chris Wheatley-Humphrey, I think of that. Dalen Russell, I think of that. Those guys should be 4 stars and probably will go up later. I'm not sure if I'm ready to say that for Romanus Frederick. I do think there's a chance he's a late riser, though. And that young man, I will say this, he's versatile, which, again, if you're paying attention, this staff loves kids that are versatile. He's fast. The staff is trying to improve the team speed. So that fits. Also, he kind of fits that Lance Guidry mold of a 6-foot-plus speedy defensive back with length. The dude has close to like a 7-foot wingspan, something crazy like that. So he checks a lot of boxes as far as fit for our scheme. And also, I think he and, Ryan Mack, also second generation, soon to be second generation Kane, committed in Miami. His dad played here back in the mid to late 90s. Those 2 guys, while they can be developed into very nice players, I could totally see the potential there. I think those also were kind of chess moves because one just transferred to St. Thomas Aquinas. So I think they're both there right now. They're both super tight, close friends. And I know there's a group, there's other guys, other prospects that they are tight with. So it was a chess move in that way, and also just to continue building that pipeline in St. Thomas Aquinas, because that's the thing with an area like South Florida, you got to keep drilling deep and building pipelines. We got a pretty good pipeline going with IMG. I mean, doesn't get better than that. Got to get a good pipeline going with Central. We're starting to get one there. If you can get a good pipeline going with like Heritage and St. Thomas Aquinas, I mean, you're in great shape moving forward. But back to Jacory Barney, it happens. We are going to miss on some guys. It's going to happen. You got to look at it like this. And I'm not trying to put like a weird spin on it or anything. No, this is the truth. There are 130 D1 schools. This young man got 30 offers. It was down to 3. Sometimes they're just going to go another way. It's going to happen. And I'm actually surprised there's not more of a freak out in the chat. Oh, here we go. I really like the tape on the young men we've got in the class. I know we have to show improvement on the field, but man, we need some D tackles on a big way, serious position of need. I totally agree with you. We definitely need to plug up some more holes, and D tackle's one of them. But you hit the nail on the head. Whether they're a 3 or a 4-star, the young men that we have committed to the class right now, I think we have 14 in the class right now. Pretty much all of them, I love their tape. And pretty much all of them, they have something specific in their game, whether it's their wingspan or their speed or they play more than one position. Some of them, they check all those boxes. Or they play 2 sports. Every single one of those prospects has something unique about them that they fit perfectly with something we're trying to do. So I do like that about it. They're, whenever you see the staff land a 3-star, it's like, okay, let me do some research on the kid. And after doing research, you're like, oh, okay, he has this and this to his game. It makes sense for these reasons. Oh, okay. It's not like before where we have to settle for these guys last minute. These are actually calculated. A lot of these are more calculated picks that they're making. These are guys that they have their eye on. I know Romanus Frederick, Coach Adai had his eye on him for months. Okay, that was a target of his for a long, long time, and he got him to flip from West Virginia. West Virginia is a solid school. Also, FSU was after him. So, There you go. But I thought that was good news yesterday or the day before, whenever he committed. But, end of the day, my reaction to this is, yeah, it sucks, but not every school's going to pick us. Remember, we were 5-7 last year. Nebraska and a lot of other teams have had coaching changes, just like we did last year. They're looking to be a school on the rise and being very intelligent and getting South Florida speed. So we're not going to grab everybody. We're just not. There's maybe 4 spots available in this class for wide receivers, I'm estimating. And, we're not going to get 20. We're going to get 3 or 4. That's it. We got our great one in Chance Robinson. I thought we were going to get Jacory Barney today. We did. But hey, that leaves a few spots open. Josiah Schrader's still out there. Ryan Wingo's still, dark horse still out there. Wayne McCoy, and so on. I know Draylon Miller, I think is his name. I always forget it, Draylon or Braylon. I think it's Draylon. He committed to another school earlier this week. So, there was a couple players that we were kind of, late in the sweepstakes for those guys. We were kind of trying to fight to get into their radar. But those I don't consider misses because they were kind of like late rallies. We almost kind of got in there, but they ended up going with another school. This was a miss. A miss to me is like we had them and then something changed and they went the other way. That to me is a miss. Like if we didn't get Wesley Bassane a couple of years ago, that would have flat out been a miss. If we don't get JoJo Trader this year, that is a miss. Because I think that dude's all about Miami. We just got to show him the love and not completely mess up on the field. But definitely understandable. Not every guy will choose Miami. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. There are simply too many great players out there, too many good schools trying to get those great players. We're not going to get everyone. I'm just saying that because we're not used to this feeling of somebody, that we have. They're right there. They were a Cane as of like this morning or yesterday, and then they pick another school. We've done it to a couple. I mean, we did Avonte Williams. You remember 4 years ago? I think it was 3 years ago. We did it to Florida. That was a shocker. So, best of luck to the young man. On to the next one. Franklin, he said he was coming to the barbecue. That sounds like a guaranteed commit to me. Yeah, Cam Franklin. I feel good about Cam Franklin. I feel good where we're at there. And I think, who was it? D-tackle. Oh, yeah, Freddie in the chat earlier was talking about D-tackle. Yeah, D-tackle is the one that we're going to hit hard in this recruiting cycle. Cam Franklin is one I feel good about. So I think we'll stack some chips there. And also, you got to remember, guys, this is a build. This is a rebuild that's going to take years. I know no one wants to hear that. So we're going to hit on some guys and we're going to miss on some guys. But that's it for me, honestly. That I thought this was going to be a little more celebratory, but unfortunately not. But it's only July 1st. That's the good news. You got the rest of the month. There are a lot of other guys on our radar and a lot of committable offers out there. I think we're going to land a handful of whales like we always do. And I think we're going to take it from there. Remember, at the end of the day, if we don't develop these guys, it's not going to matter anyway. But, this is more of a recruiting show, so we won't talk about that right now. Those elite blue chippers. We're going to get some of those guys. We're going to get some under the radar blue chippers, some under the radar 3-stars. This class is going to be a mix of all that. All right. It may not be ranked as high as last year, or maybe we mess around and win 8 or 9 games and score a lot of points. If that happens, I could totally see this being a number 7 class or a top 5 class or better. Anywhere in that range. But at the very least, I mean, barring any unmitigated disaster on the field this year, which I don't foresee, I don't foresee us picking up a less than 12th ranked, 11th ranked recruiting class. That's like the floor for me, which is very solid. But I could totally, I don't see why we wouldn't finish in the top 10, honestly, is what I'm trying to say. Sigmund, thank you very much for the donation. Always appreciated. John, give us some cornerback nuggets we should be looking out for. Man, cornerback nuggets. I need to do my homework. I'll get back to you on that one. No nugget off the top of my head. I mean, I know Romanus Frederick was like, we were kind of on watch for that one, and he ended up committing already. So I noticed we are getting a lot of DBs. We're kind of like restructuring that entire room. Lance Guidry's a DB coach, so I get it. You know, he's trying to get more and more players that he wants for his system. So I get it. I understand why that's happening. But I'll try to see if I can come back on the next live stream with some cornerback nuggets. I am planning on having our good buddy Rasta on the show this week to talk some recruiting. He may have a nugget or two for you. Who knows? We'll see. But that is pretty much it for me. I am going to enjoy the rest of my Saturday evening. I hope you guys do too. And guys, if you're upset about this, please, hey, I get it. You're a fan. Go for a walk. Get a little workout in. You know, hug somebody. I don't know. Just it's one guy. Let's chill. It'll be all right. We'll be fine. We're gonna get some wide receivers. It's not gonna be like last year where we put all our chips in on one guy and we missed. And no, it's really so many stars and planets had to align for that scenario to happen. For us to just end up with like little to nothing at the position. I don't see that happening again. This staff won't make the same mistake twice. So I'm not concerned. All right. Anyways, I'm off. Enjoy your Saturday. Go Kings.